I've always been an entrepreneur without even realizing. I've cut grass, I've sold candy, I've burned CDs and sold those, I've sold magnet earrings, anything you can think of. I had everything against me as far as like things that should have led me down that wrong path, but I always wanted to go the opposite direction or what my friends went, my family.
Airbnb is dead. Would you say that that's false?
It depends on the market. No, I never had a job before.
Yeah. Whoa, hold on. You've never had a job before? You mean like
Ever.
Like a W-2?
I never had a job before.
Every single time I bring you guys a show, the gentleman I have with me tonight is Maddin, serial entrepreneur, author, and to me, my motivational speaker, he don't even know. Man, it's been a pleasure.
Nah, for sure, man.
Man.
Good meeting you.
Absolutely. We've been trying
like super random too. Like
super random.
Yeah. I like it though, man. I like the energy, the vibe in here, like everything perfect.
I know I just said something in the intro where I let you know from a distance, from a bird's eye view, you are a motivational speaker to me. And I say that through, obviously, your Instagram posts, through your YouTube channel. And I'm not saying like E.T., right? Because that's what he does.
No, yeah, for sure.
But you've gone on this transformational journey, bro, of like manhood, spirituality, your entrepreneurial journey. And you've been so open and you've shared it. And at least from my perspective, I appreciate it because it's done a lot for me. Where did that come from? Where did that stem from? Where did this change happen where you just felt open to start sharing this?
Honestly, God, man, I don't know nobody else to give the credit to. I don't really have any entrepreneurs in my life. I didn't really have any mentors growing up, so nobody really guided me in any type of direction. To be honest, I went through a breakup that led me to get deeper into the word. I feel like that's a lot of people's like start of some kind of like self-help journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, so with me, I have a similar journey, and I kind of went with that, and I just allowed God to use me. So I allowed Him to be the person that I wish I had growing up, right? Well, allow me to be that person that I wish I had, like the mentor I wish I had. I want to be that person to other people. So for you to say that, I was like a motivational speaker to you or whatever, like that's what I wanted somebody to be to me. So, I just speak my mind, tell myself what I feel like I should hear in that day, and I just release that. And anybody that can correlate with, I'll just allow it to.
I think you hit it on the head. Something traumatic kind of has to happen, right? And whether that be a breakup, like what you said, or like a loss, obviously in someone's life, or someone getting fired from their job, right? You have to like hit your low. Yeah. And I'm not saying that was your lowest moment, but that was the trigger for you to get you to your spot today. Can you talk a little bit about that spark that led you down this journey, though, of being the entrepreneur? Because you could do a lot of things, right? You could go down the negative hole. No, you chose to flip it, use it for good, and hit this way. So where was that?
To be honest, I've always been an entrepreneur without even realizing it. So growing up, I've cut grass, I've sold candy, I've burned CDs and sold those, I've sold magnet earrings, anything you can think of. I had everything against me as far as like things that should have led me down that wrong path, but I always wanted to go the opposite direction or what my friends went, my family. I wanted to go the opposite direction and really prove to people that it was possible to make it without actually having to sell drugs or rob people or do stuff like that. So without knowing that I was an entrepreneur, I've always been an entrepreneur. So as I got older, it kind of led to being, other doors opening, and I was connected to entrepreneurship. And I look up, I'm a full-blown entrepreneur. I never had a job before. So, yeah.
Whoa, hold on. You've never had a job before? You mean like
ever? Like
a W-2?
I never had a job before. So like sometimes my friends there, and it's nothing against people that got jobs.
Yeah.
Sometimes my friends that speak on, how like getting a check work or like stuff like that, and I can't like really relate to it. So it's like a gift and a curse in a way. Like certain corporate things I wish I would have known, like certain certain leadership skills that I probably would have learned in the corporate field, or just teamwork skills, like whatever that comes with being an actual an actual employee. Yeah, I feel like I had to kind of teach myself those things, being that I wasn't exposed to it, having an actual job. So it's kind of like a gift and a curse.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've never heard that perspective before. Nah, not like, most people start off like, I don't know, Burger King or McDonald's or something.
Nah, but I never had. I've applied for stuff, but I really don't think that was in in my journey. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
even me applying, like, I never got approved for anything. So, like, you know, when you was a certain age, all your friends go get a job at Taco Bell or McDonald's, and you like, oh, I want to go get a job just so I can work with my friends. But even when I did that, I never got approved. I never got a call back. So God didn't want that for me.
Like you said, it's a gift and a curse. You've used it as obviously as a gift.
No, yeah.
So that's an amazing thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to transition really quickly back to your entrepreneurial spirit that also led you to your calling of becoming an author.
Mm-hmm.
I myself also am a self-published author. So I want to give you the credit on that because
No, that.
It's an amazing.
Yeah, no, for sure.
First off, what made you even want to do that? Like share your intellect, share your insight in a book form. Because in case you guys don't know, his book is called NeGrow. It is can I speak on it?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. It's a transformative mindset book for myself. That's how I took it. And it was you really trying to decipher the word and change the connotation of Negro.
Yeah, no,
right?
Sure.
So NeGrow, you made it NeGrow. Right?
Yeah.
And it stuck to me. So what was that like? Where did that come from?
It's another one of those things. I can't explain it. Like, a lot of stuff that happened in my life, I really can't explain. That's why just to simplify, I just give all the glory to God. I thank him every day for even pouring this stuff into me so I can release it into the world. The word Negro, like, I had to look it up to see if anybody else had even done it, like, because I never heard it. It just popped in my head.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was perfect to actually put in a book format. Like, I didn't plan on writing a book. I actually was writing notes in my phone throughout the years of me just being an entrepreneur. Any of my low points, any of my high points, I always just kind of jotted down, just make notes of it. And when it was time for me to actually make a book, I just like repurposed all those notes. So all the notes that I had, I put in a book format and boom, Negro.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's not just me that goes through the things I go through. A lot of people go through these things. I want to be able to relate to those. I want those people to be able to relate to me. So boom, I put it out. And I feel like, you know, if somebody feel like they can relate to me, they understand that it's possible and they can, you know, it can kick off their entrepreneurial journey or just their healing journey or whatever it is. So
it honestly fits you. You know what I mean? It fits the transformative feel that you give people, the emotion that you do in your videos when you talk, right? I can feel it right here. Mm-hmm. I want to ask you, because I haven't done it yet, so this is like a selfish moment for myself. Mm-hmm. What was it like, or what hurdles or obstacles, what did you have to do to get inside Barnes & Noble? Because writing a book, publishing a book, having an editor, those are all, you know, everyone could do those steps. It takes time, right?
Yeah.
But getting it inside Barnes & Noble or like a physical store, like what did that look like?
To be honest, it's another one of those things, man. Like, it's so many things that happen in my life that where it's like, it's unexplainable. So like, I originally went through a publisher and once they submitted it into like the different like outlets, Barnes & Noble, they wanted to pick it up on their own. They just liked the concept behind it and they just selected a few stores that they wanted to put it in. As those sales started to roll over, they started to present it to even more stores. So it's just another one of those things, man.
Bro, this story is like your life story, your journey is, I mean, God's been touching you in every which way. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. Obviously, I'm a believer as well, so it's much bigger than I, right?
No, yeah.
You and I. Mm-hmm. And all of these things are unspeakable, right? Because you don't control any of it. Right. You know what I mean? They say, you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. You know what I mean? So for all of these things just to hit like this for you it's a blessing. It's a miracle, bro. Mm-hmm. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay, I want to ask you now. So right now in your entrepreneurial journey that you're in, I know you're crushing it in like the credit space as well as the funding space.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit on that? Maybe for people who are struggling right now on their credit journey, what is like the starting spot to get on the road of recovery, right? Yeah. And then could you also talk on what is it like if someone wants to be a client of yours or work with you? What does that look like for them?
Well, I always tell people the first step of actually getting on a recovery journey is understanding what you need to recover from. So a lot of people don't even know what's going on with their credit. Like they'll contact me and say, I got bad credit. I ask them, what's going on with your credit? Oh, I don't know. It's like, okay, well, how do you know how bad it is? It might not be as bad as you think. So a lot of times we're kind of intimidated by the idea of actually like growing. So rather it's the credit space, right? So the first thing you need to do is just really download Experian or Credit Karma, whatever it is that you want to check the credit on and see exactly what it is, because like I said, it might not be as bad as you think.
Are you ready to turn your dreams into a reality? At DVN Consultations, we're here to guide you, complete white glove service every step of the way. Whether you're starting your credit repair journey or you're looking to get business funding, we've got your back. Go ahead and screenshot or click the QR code below and schedule your discovery call with the team. Let's make your dreams come true together.
And to answer your question, as far as like if you want to be a client, you can easily contact me on anything. My name is Al Maddin on any platform, ALMADDIN. And either I'll contact you back directly or somebody from my team will contact you back directly. So,
could you maybe give the listeners today or the viewers, could you give, and I don't want to use that flashy word play, right? But do you have something that maybe you give your community or maybe some of your other mentees that you're willing to share today, which maybe could allow someone, let's say subpar, and a little bit better than subpar credit score, where they can go get themselves some money on their own without coming to you? Right?
Yeah.
Do you have something that you'd be willing to share with the audience today?
I kind of tell people to just go to Amex. To me, I think Experian right now is kind of cleaning up reports pretty quickly. So when I do my submissions for, accounts to be removed, Experian tends to update in about 4 days. So once we do that, we go ahead and get them at Amex, and they can liquidate their Amex if they want to. And that, basically it'd be a form of capital. If they want to use that to start a business, they can. If they want to use it to pay off other debt, they can. Like however they want to do it. Like
you said something right there that I want to make sure didn't fly over people's head. Of when you do get an Amex card, that's your route, right? They get access to capital. You said liquidate the card, and then what should they do with it after? Like they park it in a vessel, or what would you say? Where would you try to guide someone, or do they need to come with their own game plan?
I always ask, because I really don't work with everybody. I believe that all money is not good money, so I really have to vet the client before I even accept them. So I always ask, okay, when you fix your credit, what you want to do with it? Just to kind of get an idea, because a lot of people, once I fix it, they might just mess it back up. So I want to make sure I'm able to like guide you down the right direction. So if you do get it fixed, okay, this is what you need to do with it. Where's your interest? Like you might not be interested in the same stuff I'm interested in. So if you're not, I can either lead you down that path, rather I've done it before in my past, or I can connect you with somebody who has. So, I don't want to be like one dimensional, get into Turo, get into Airbnb, because that might not be your calling. That might not be something that's going to work for you. So I want to make sure I get an idea of where you are as a person currently, so we can figure out what we need to take you.
Especially because I feel like in the era that we're in right now, I want to say there's obviously a lot of mentors, and it's needed, right? Because there's people that are on their journey that not really need to get told what to do, but like that helping hand, you know what I mean? And if you can find someone that's like, oh, I can be like that, they kind of put their foresight on you. You know what I mean? Like every mentee fits into the same box. So hearing you say something like that is refreshing, because not everybody is the same, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
You could choose, what did you say, Turo? You could choose Airbnb. I know you went down the Airbnb route.
Yeah, for sure.
I think last time we spoke, you were at like 22 properties. How is that? How is the Airbnb game today? Let's talk about that.
So I mainly do everything in Houston. So during the pandemic, Houston became like a very popular city, right? So being that so many people coming to Houston, anybody that comes to me and joins our startup program, I always start them off in an area that's really lit in Houston. Travel, I don't think will go anywhere unless we go back into another pandemic. I don't feel like Airbnb are really like shut down, because travel will always be a thing. As long as hotels are there, I think that Airbnbs will be needed. Everybody don't want to stay in a hotel. So, I always break that aspect down. And before I sign somebody up, I send them the analytics. So before we even jump into a property, we know exactly how many nights this property is projected to be booked, because every property in that area is, doing a pretty similar thing. And I kind of just go, without going in blindly, I know exactly what the client will be, investing in, or I'll be investing in when it comes to that property.
You're doing like the front end work while also delivering like fulfillment for them if they partner up with you and try to go in this Airbnb space.
Yeah.
Do you, I don't know, I kind of hear it a little bit all over. Airbnb is dead. Do you not agree with that? Because you're still saying that obviously it's all about travel, and Houston is still popping. This is where you're at,
yeah,
right?
No, for sure.
So would you say that that's false?
It depends on the market. Like certain markets, like I wouldn't tell somebody to do Airbnb in somewhere like New York or Miami, because there's so many regulations. Even Vegas, like it's so many regulations out here, because the hotels, the casinos that's already out here has so much monopoly over the game. So with that being said, I wouldn't even tell somebody to come out here. It's dead out here.
Right.
But somewhere like Houston, there's really no real regulations. So with that being said, it's more of a safer bet. Like, it's more of a safer investment. And like I said, I always provide the analytics. So even if I do feel like it might be a bad area, based on the analytics, they saying otherwise. So we're not going in there blindly. So I wouldn't say it's dead.
Know your numbers, know your data, know your analytics before you make any decision, really.
Yeah, that's any investment. It's not just Airbnb, anything. Yeah.
Exactly. I hope y'all hear that. You know what I mean? There's people get the money and then just don't know what to do with it. You said something earlier, like you don't want them to just get access to the capital and then maybe burn it up and then come right back to you. Yeah. Is that something that is common?
It's very common because everything is a habit, right? So, rather spending money, saving money, whatever side of the spectrum you on, is really a habit. And in our culture, spending money is the habit that we all have. Absolutely. So if I give you access to something you never had before, you don't know how to manage this. Right. And we can't go to our parents because they don't know how to manage this. So it's so many like layers that we had to pull back before we expose the client to this part of life. And the average person will mess it back up. They'll come to me, hey, I messed up. And, sometimes I look out because I understand I done messed up before. I done got access. In our first company, I've got access to a lot of money. And we come to Vegas and just blow it. And we look up, it's like we back at step one. But it's all a learning lesson. So I try to help my clients as much as I can so they can not run into the mistakes that I ran into.
That's the truth. And I appreciate coming from your perspective and your lens because you have failed before, right? And then you also, there we go. I say that for the listener or for the audience member that's watching this today, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? There's absolutely no reason for you to reach out or to like start your journey because you're not supposed to be perfect. You know what I mean? Like reach out, find your mentor, find the person that can help you to get to where you're trying to get to. Because if you were already perfect, then we wouldn't even have no jobs anyways, right? We wouldn't have our companies anyways.
Yeah.
So I just want the person that's listening today, you know what I mean? Like don't block your own blessing. Nobody's coming to us perfect. We're not expecting you to be perfect. That's the reason we're on this call today.
I like these questions and, this dialogue, by the way. I just wanted to tell you that. Like, this is one of the best podcasts I've been on just because we both have substance. So, we're able to bounce our ideas off each other, bounce the conversation off each other. But I like that it's not like surface level. Like, we actually going like deeper and trying to, give people a better understanding of things as an entrepreneur, just life in general. So I just wanted to point that out.
Man, I appreciate that.
No, for sure.
Audience member, viewer, if you heard that, you heard it from the guest, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and hit the follow so the algorithm could pick this up because this is what we do over here. So that's dope, man. I appreciate that. Sure. I do want to touch back in your book because I can at least talk to you from my lens and my perspective when I was writing. Mine was a little bit, I don't want to say different than yours because mine was a lot of note taking, right? Mine was a lot of like random ideas and thoughts that kind of just happen in our brain all the time. At least I'm sure you're the same way, right? I see something, I'm like, oh, I could flip this, I could do this better. Or they said this, but they didn't say it correctly. Yeah, where everyone could digest it. So that's what I wanted to put in my book, right? What was the angle that you wanted to actually take for like your audience member or your reader, right? Because I think I've read it. I know anyone could pick it up and learn something from it, depending on what climate that they're in that part in life. Yeah. But when you were doing it, who did you see as you were writing it down, like receiving this?
Honestly, I saw myself receiving it. Like I said, I believe it's a lot of people like me. So me speaking to myself, it allowed me to like be myself. So it allowed me to like speak in a way to where it's relatable. So even in the book, like I didn't want it to be like super proper. I wanted people that's reading it because it's already hard to get people to read anyway. So I want people to, when they do pick up the book, they like, okay, I can relate to this person. I want to keep going. Because, if we're reading something that we can't relate to 9 out of 10, we're just going to close it, put it off to the side. Yeah. So like I said, I really wanted to speak to those that were in my position at some point in life and speak to those that want to potentially be in my position now or be, better than I am today because I still want to be better. So I still read the book myself. Yeah. And every time I read it, I still pick up something that, even though I wrote it, I pick up stuff that I may have missed the last time I read it. So I feel like the book is for everybody.
And it's crazy. It's not crazy because it is your life and it's the way that things have naturally happened. Yeah. But sitting here listening to it is like, just follow it, right? Follow whatever the calling is, following whatever I'm being told or what I'm hearing. there's a lot of people that are listening today or watching today that live their life in that fear, right? And they're scared to do anything. They know they're safe right here in the place that they're at today, but they have big ideas, they have big dreams, they have aspirations, they have goals, but getting over that hurdle is the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you can speak to that individual today? Because everything that you've accomplished, it just came, I don't want to say naturally and easily, because breaking fear and doing new things isn't easy, right? But could you talk to that individual that's having that fear, maybe that thing that's holding them back?
The average person I come across, they're definitely fearful of something. And the average person, they just fearful of failure, right? So, but I feel like whatever it is that you dream to do, the chances of you failing is 100% if you don't even try it, right? I at least want to cut my 100% down to 50% and just try. If it's a shot on the court, if you shoot it, it's either gonna go in or not. If you don't shoot it, you got a 0%. So I'd rather literally just take the shot. So, you know, if you feel like it's something in your spirit that you need to do, if it's something that you're into naturally, whether it's you can sing, some people know how to play basketball naturally, some people can jump high. Like, it's so many things that, like so many gifts that we have. We just need to find out in this life, how can you apply that gift to something that's beneficial for you and others around you? And if you can do that, it's called your purpose, right? So if you can figure out your purpose, you really can use that purpose to lead you on just different levels of life. And that's what I allowed myself to do. Whatever I felt was my purpose, which is pouring into people, teaching other people, whatever it is I'm into that I feel like other people need to be a part of. I allowed God to basically walk me through those seasons by just using my purpose at that time, if that makes sense.
You said something as I was listening right there about you finding your purpose, which is pouring value into people. That's different. Where did you pick up that knack, or where did you find on your journey that this is what Al is supposed to be doing here and walking this earth and sharing your gift? Because that's a different thing. You know what I mean? So there was something there. Where did that come from?
I feel like it's natural. Like I naturally want to help my people. Like even if I don't know somebody, I want to help them. Like if it's somebody that want to start a business, it can be a complete stranger. Naturally, I want to help that person. It may not be financially, but I want to at least pour into you mentally to where it's like, okay, I got something from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just feel like it come natural. Like this, a lot of people really go against the grain. We have all the tools we need. We just need to use them.
Yeah.
And, you know, once you start using them, everything fall in line. That's just it might not be easy, but I just feel like everything just eventually falls into line. But to answer your original question, I feel like it just came natural. It's just who I am as a person. Like growing up, I do feel like I was a different person, but that was just a part of my environment. So, you know, I held grudges. I did everything that we not naturally supposed to do.
Absolutely.
But once I broke out of that shell, I got it in different environments. It really allowed me to like discover who I am as a person. And those natural things came out, you know, because that's just who I am. That's who I was created to be.
Absolutely. And inside of that, I think that's a huge thing for someone in particular in our community, really, to hear it's okay to leave your environment. It's not leaving people behind, because it could be in the exact same aspect that you did it. You left to better yourself, to go back, and I'm sure help out so many, right? There's a lot of people that are in our community that struggle with that. Can you speak to the transformation that happened to you when you decided to leave your environment?
To be honest, my mom moved us to Florida, right?
Okay.
So once she moved us there, I was able to see a completely different part of life, right? I'm listening to birds chirping in the morning, stuff that I never really heard growing up.
Can I ask you, where did you come from?
I originally was born in Detroit.
Oh, that's a huge difference.
No, yeah, for sure. So
okay,
I'm seeing palm trees, beach, sands, like, and you know, we used to travel growing up too. Like my mom did what she had to do to allow us to see like just different aspects of life. And, you know, I feel like sometimes, like I know people in New York that never even been in Manhattan. They lived in Queens their whole life and never left Queens. They never been into something that's like literally an hour away from where you live. So you're not even seeing the possibilities. Like me traveling and seeing other cultures, it allowed me to like just see that anything is possible. And, you know, being that narrative was set for me as far as like wanting to expand my vision, it allowed me to see that, you know, I can take my family on trips. I can live in different places. Like the stuff that I thought that I might not be able to accomplish growing up. And to be honest, I always looked at myself as a failure growing up because that's what I was told. Like it was the complete opposite of who I am today. My teacher used to tell me I wasn't going to be nothing, but my grades reflected that. So if I would have stayed in those environments, I would have really believed those things growing up until she took us out of that. And, you know, that's where we saw just different parts of life. So I always tell people just travel. Like, you don't have to move off nowhere, but just travel. If you live in a certain like inner city that you may feel like it's holding you back, just go visit somewhere that might have a beach, or somewhere that just has somewhere that has something that you feel like you want in your life. So even if you just go for a couple of days, you're just able to put yourself in them environments and just see that it's possible. Like see people like you that's living in certain communities. Like me, I go through different African American communities that's successful, right? And it allows me to see like, dang, it's really possible. And now I really live in a neighborhood to where it's like I look out my window every day and be like, I really live here. Like it's crazy just to even say that, but it took for me to like go to them different environments to see that it was possible.
My mom did the same thing with us. So when we were growing up, we would all get in the car like on Saturday morning, and she would get the paper, and it would be like houses for sale that were obviously in neighborhoods that we could never get into. Mm-hmm. But she would be like, go get dressed like in good clothes. We're going to walk around the place like we're going to buy the place, so that we growing up, we could understand that we could live in places like this. You know what I mean? And that was it wasn't like a coping mechanism, but it was like a trick to our mind to be like, we can be more. Like you were saying, your teachers told you that you were a failure and your grades showed that, right? So we were molded a little bit differently of like, you can be this, you can do this. We're not in it right now, but you can do it. So I think that's one of the biggest cheat codes ever right there, what you just said of like travel. Yeah. So if you just do like a quick 4-day weekend, Thursday through Monday, and you go see New York, you go see Florida, you go see Seattle, you go see Texas, like you can adapt, you can be more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. It would be times like I'd be like, I'm not like an emotional person, but it'd be times where I really like think of like my life, and I start tearing up because it's like, man, this is really real. Like, anything is possible. Yeah. I wish that more people could experience this. So that's why I just try to put as many motivational messages out as possible, just to let people know that you have what it takes to really break those generational curses.
From honestly speaking to you now and listening to everything that you're saying, I think this is like a weird I don't want to call it weird, but I think it's like a superpower that you have, is like, you know how to mold and like rewire your own brain and like restructure it to what you want to be. You know how perception is reality. Yeah. If you have the cheat code of changing your mind, right, and all you do is rewire it this one way, inevitably you're going to get that one way. And just from this conversation right here, I'm picking that up as like, that's your superpower, man. Like,
I never heard it broken down that way. That's dope.
I appreciate it. I'm just listening because like every single thing that you say is like, you did it. You did it. I mean, God gave it to you, right? God gave you the gift and the ability. Yeah, not at all. But you had to restructure your mind to be, I am going to be successful. I am going to live here. You can get access to capital and do these different things, right? Because like you said, you didn't have the role model. You didn't have the mentor to show you that these things are possible. So, man, congratulations to you. And anybody that's listening today, I hope that they hear this and they pick this up and they're able to digest this, because
for sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You said that you had multiple businesses, right? I'm going to go back a little bit. You said that you had your first business. Obviously, you got some money, made some bad decisions, whatever. You had a good time, right? When you're new to money, you do new money things. You know what I mean? Exactly. So it's understandable. Then you came back, you ran it up again. You got a little bit wiser, right? You got a little bit more mature. What inside of that, though, would you say was like your turning point? Was it like, dang, I stumbled, I scraped my knee again, I don't ever want to do this?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of us stumble. I mean, if we look at our knees right now, it's a bunch of scrapes on it. We make the same mistakes, whether it's riding a bike, we gonna fall. But I've hit rock bottom a couple times. And every time I hit rock bottom, it seemed like it was worse. But the more I felt like I was, the lowest I got, I felt like that was the biggest lesson, right? So, when I moved to Vegas, that was like my restart point. Like, I was sleeping on the floor out here at my friend's house. I was just speaking to I actually ran into one of those friends the other day too. I said, yo, we used to sleep on the floor together, we just was trying to figure life out.
Right.
But I always knew that God had a better purpose for me. So I didn't allow that time in my life to really define who it was that I was as a person. And I already reached like a certain level in my life to where I already proved to myself that it was possible to get there. So it just really took for me to learn, regroup, and just figure out what direction I want to go at that point. And like I said, I just really allowed God to use me again, and it took me back to an even higher high that I was before, you know. But I had to, whatever lessons I learned during that last season of my life, I had to apply to this new season. And then I feel like from there, my life just started to continue to elevate. But it just took for me to learn from whatever it was, because we would keep putting ourselves in that same cycle unless we learn what it is. So, yeah, I really just had to learn my lesson over and over until I got to the point where I am today.
I don't think people truly understand what it's like to be an entrepreneur, right? Or their own business owner or their own boss until they're in it, of the hardships, the struggles. Mm-hmm. There's no one else to turn to. Everyone looking at you to pay them.
Right.
You can't show you're going to break. And you got an email that was you were expecting to close the deal. It fell through. You get what I mean? And you got to come out strong-faced, ready to go, because you got people waiting on you. You know what I mean?
To speak on that, not to cut you off.
No, you could.
So we had a tech company called Skywalkers. You remember when the hoverboards was going on?
Crazy.
Our company name was Skywalker. So we were one of the top companies out here selling the hoverboards. But we get to the point where we make hundreds of thousands a day, and next thing you know, they shut all our merchants down. They basically sealed off everything for us. So during in that same day, our lights got cut off. So we in the office in the dark with employees, like, having to be strong for them, because if we show any kind of weakness, like, who are they to be the strong one? They depending on us. So to kind of speak on what you was kind of speaking on, is like, yeah, we really had to be those leaders and kind of fight through those moments to get through it, and really just kind of get through that season. But yeah, we came from here and they shut everything down. So at any moment, being an entrepreneur, it can change. And, you know, I felt that numerous times, but it's really just about getting through the storm. Instead of giving up, you just got to kind of get through it. So I know I'm kind of rambling, but, you know, I feel like life actually has a lot of storms, just like an actual storm in life. When it's raining, you can either sit in the rain or you can keep going. You're going to get out of that storm a little faster if you keep going versus sitting under that rain cloud.
Yeah.
So, you know, life is the same way. If you keep going, eventually the sun going to come back out. So if you feel like you stuck in those spots to where, you know, life is just a storm, just keep going, because when you give up, that's when you lose everything. If you keep going, you know, you just keep going. So you keep going, you keep growing. So I'm going to say that. So I feel like that's a fact. You know, I had to go through those times a lot, man.
As you were saying that, I'm going to bring this back to me again. I had one reviewer on my book, crazy. They literally left a review saying, you gave me how to fix my own credit in one chapter. You gave me how to get business funding in one chapter, but there were 7 chapters of mindset. Mm-hmm. That's not what they were looking for.
Yeah.
And I read that review and I was like, you still didn't get it.
Right. It went right over your head.
It went right over your head. I beat this into you for 7 chapters. Do you see how you focus on
the one?
It's so simple that I can break it down in one chapter. How do you repair your credit? Right. Mm-hmm. It's that easy.
Right.
It's one chapter. I can show you how to build a funding sequence and go get the bag. 50,000, 150. It's that simple.
Yeah.
But it takes this much to get you to transform your mind, and you still couldn't grasp that.
Right.
And someone left that review on my book.
Yeah.
And it made me understand, okay, it's not for everyone, but it actually is for everyone because they don't get it.
Yeah.
And speaking to you, man, that is like something I hope, and I'm saying this again, I hope that they understand this world that we choose to get into, of this entrepreneurial world. It is 99% mental.
Oh, yeah.
All transformation within the ears.
Yeah.
And you are like living testament of it, because your will, right? Your determination, you just move off of the things that come to you naturally, but everything that you speak on. And that's why I told you at the very beginning, like, you're a motivational speaker for me.
Yeah.
This is really who you are. This isn't just for show. Yeah, for anyone who thinks that this is for show, this is not for show. Like, this is real life. Man, the transformational stuff that you touch on is just huge. And I hope that people truly understand that if you can conquer this mind thing, you can do anything. Mm-hmm. Was there something like, so there was books for me, and it was like, how to win and influence people, right? Another big one, obviously, is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You know what I mean? Was there something like that happened to you that got you to this? I know obviously the struggles and the mishaps and your shortcomings got you here, but was there something that you just like clicked in your mind where you're like, I'm on to something here. Let me continue to, like you said, soil or water your own soil. You know what I mean? Was there something like that?
Just really just me putting the puzzle pieces together. And right now I'm kind of like dazing off trying to figure out or trying to think of like one in particular moment to where I might be able to think of, but it's so many moments to where I could say like, this was connected to this. Then once I learned this lesson, then this lesson made sense. Yeah. It's like it's so many different things to the puzzle.
Let me try to go back to what my perspective was for me. Mm-hmm. So when I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, I never knew anything about credit, right? Mm-hmm. So to get the mindset shift, right, that Robert Kiyosaki was obviously trying to get to the audience, was the new thing to me. And I was like, wait, people are living like this? Like you could do this? Yeah. And then obviously I went down the rabbit hole, YouTube University. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I figured out the importance of credit because like I wasn't taught it either. You know what I mean? And once I figured out that I was able to use this thing that I can go and leverage, right, and get credit cards, and then he put it into vessels of rentals, right, and properties, I was like, I could do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that was that moment for me. Was there any, and if there wasn't for you, it's okay.
So, I mean, when it comes to the credit aspect, like growing up, we always used our own money. Like, so we weren't really taught the credit. So once it was time for me to buy a house, that's when I got more into the credit aspects because I understood the importance. We taught that cash is king, but really once you get into the real world, it's not. They don't care how much money you're bringing in. If your credit bad, you can still get denied. So once I got a house and I pretty much got my credit fixed. From there, I was able to understand, okay, everything I was using my own money for, I can now use and leverage the bank's money. And instead of me investing, let's just say $5,000, I can now invest $10,000 and double what it was that I would have got for the $5,000. So I think that during the seasons of me using my own money, it really prepared me to manage the bank's money better because now I'm able to basically apply those same tactics that I use as far as marketing and everything, like buying inventory. I can do all of those same things just at a bigger scale and get rewarded from it using the reward points, cash back. So even me coming here, I'm able to use reward points, going to the game, the fight, or whatever it is, using all just perks of me spending money that I would have already spent anyway. So, yeah, I feel like me buying a house is really the turning point of me understanding the importance of credit. Because like I said, my mom, my dad, they didn't really know much about credit. So I wasn't really taught anything about it until that time where I had to fix it for my house.
To say buying your house was the turning point in your life, because for so many people, and not saying that it's wrong for anybody, so many people, that's the end game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm buying my family home and I've made it. So for that to be your launching pad.
Yeah. It's so much more than just buying a house. And that's the average person's goal. Well, actually, no, I would say the average person's goal is to get a car.
Okay.
There's so much more to just having good credit than just getting a car. Get a house. Go and get business funding. Go and get a bunch of different things that you can get that you wouldn't be able to get if you had bad credit. So it's so many things that you can use your credit for. And I feel like once people educate themselves on what's out there, then, they'll be able to utilize that for the good versus thinking, oh, one more thing. The average person feel like getting a house is so much harder than it actually is. It's not that hard to get a house.
No, I could speak. I'm a living testament to it as well, because I thought it was the hardest thing. I literally walked in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Met a lender. They told me right away, this is what you got to work with.
Yeah.
And just go find the zip code you want to stay up in and we'll connect you with a real estate agent. You know what I mean? Like, it's that easy.
It's super easy.
There's
so many first-time home buyer programs to the point to where you don't have to have a 750, you don't have to have an 800 credit score to get a house. I know people who got high 800s that got approved for a house. So it's like the average person in the 500s somewhere, as long as you don't have like evictions and a bunch of craziness on your credit, first-time home buyer programs is more than likely going to approve you for, not to say that you can get $1 million house, but you can get something that's probably better than where you live right now.
100%.
Yeah.
Man, that right there is a gem, because not a lot of people really touch on the first-time home buyers programs also. Do you recommend any? Do you have any off the top of your head?
Honestly, I don't like dabbling in other people's lanes. So when it comes to being a realtor, I don't want to be a realtor.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what y'all got to do. I'm going to connect you with a realtor that I may be plugged with, and y'all can talk about that. But as far as the first time, I just know that there are a bunch of first-time home buying programs out there that you can take advantage of. So whatever your local builder offers you, hey, that's on them.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I know my expertise. I stay in my expertise. So I just wanted to throw it out there.
No, for sure.
You
Yeah.
good. What is something that if you could leave the listener today, right? If you wanted to leave someone that wants to be an entrepreneur, or maybe they are, right? And they just might not be where they think they are supposed to be or where they want to be or envision to be. Let's do 2 pieces of advice, because you're already like preaching, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the transformation stuff. But what's 2 pieces of advice? Maybe like get prepared for this, and then a piece of advice that you want to leave.
Yeah. No, like we spoke on the mindset. It's actually a certain mindset that you have to have in order to reach a certain level, right? So I don't want you to, I can tell you, man, go get as much money as you want, but you have to get the mindset part down packed. And it's more than just that. Like mentally, you got to be right, physically, spiritually. So many things that come with it, right? If your health is wrong or if your health is bad and you're trying to dabble into certain things that might throw you off, if your finance is bad, like if you don't understand certain things about it, you got to get that part about yourself together first before you get introduced to that part of life. That's one thing. But the average person, I just want them to start. Whatever you feel like is holding you back, just start your journey, man. Like, quit talking yourself out of it. Quit letting the devil talk you out of it, make you feel like you're not as good or you're not worthy of it. Whatever it is that you feel like God is putting in you, just give birth to that idea. And, that's one thing I can leave other people just to start, man. Just stop talking yourself out of it. Quit doubting yourself. Just because your family didn't make it to a certain level don't mean you didn't make it or you can't make it. Just because your friends didn't make it don't mean you can't make it. It's just, you just got to start somewhere. Just go.
The day and era that we're in of like social media, right?
One more thing.
Oh,
not
please,
to
you good.
You have to stop comparing yourself too.
Come on.
So I know, I do the same thing. Like I show my highlights. I don't, I have a lot of low points. I don't show those. I'm human. But I feel like when we keep showing our highlights and we comparing our, I guess, low lights, we comparing that to other people's highlights, it's like we get discouraged. We start to doubt ourselves and we feel like our journey don't look like their journey. But, you have to stop comparing yourself to other people. Everybody's journey is different. So just go along for the ride or go along for your ride. Ride your ride, just ride it out and see where it go. That's another thing I feel like a lot of people do, and it kind of keep them stuck because they thinking that it's supposed to be perfect, like how it looks on Instagram, but it's not going to be perfect.
And I think a lot of people they're so scared to start and to do something because of the one hateful comment. It's going to come.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's going
I laugh at that stuff. Like, I don't really get many hating comments, though.
I mean, I can see that.
Yeah.
The way you move,
if I do see something, because, every now and then somebody might say, oh, this is a scam. But it's like, how do you know it's a scam? Who have you saw say it was a scam? You never even signed up to even experience it being a scam if it is a scam. But once you understand that aspect of it, you just let that stuff bounce off your shoulders. Like, it is what it is. People going to have something to say. They speaking from a hateful place because they in a place that they don't want to be in. So once you realize that aspect of it, that stuff just don't even faze you no more, man.
And I do want to talk on that word scam because we're in the same space. We're in the same industry. People love to throw that around. I always just ask the people, like, is it truly a scam? Or did you follow every single step that the mentor, the guru gave to you, and then it failed? If that's the case, okay, now it's kind of fishy. But if you barely just signed up and you think, hey, him sending a PDF file and this to you and this to you and this is how I do this on this sales call or these are my bank reps, and you don't actually do or implement or change anything about yourself, it's not a scam. You failed yourself.
Yeah, that's true. But I think a lot of people have been scammed so much in life to the point to where it started to, I guess, get to a point to where stuff just unbelievable. Like, I don't even believe this even possible for this person to basically provide what they're saying they're providing. So scamming, I think, is just a thing that's stuck in people because they have been scammed before, right? There was they got sold a bad car, got into some kind of bad deal somewhere, like, and they just feel like everything is too good to be true and it's just a scam. That's just the time we in. It is a lot of scammers on Instagram, so I can't act like people are providing the service that they're saying they're providing. Like, nowadays, you literally can go buy a camera, buy a chain, a watch, and just say that you're doing something online, and it's not true. So it is a lot of scamming going on. So I have to say that.
No, there is definitely a lot of scamming going on. I'm not going to say that there's not. But I have ran into the people where they're like, oh, I was over here, a part of this community. I talked to this person and nothing worked out. And I'm like, really? Like, what did you implement that you learned from this person that was unsuccessful? And then be like, oh, nothing.
Yeah.
That's not a scam.
Well, I do believe that everybody's not meant to be successful.
For sure.
Some people just don't got it. Like, it's just so much embedded in them that where they just like, it is what it is. You just meant to be in the position you in. And I put a video recently to say, it basically said that most people are in the positions they're in for a reason. And you end up finding out what that reason is, rather that's somebody that bought your program. They find out all the negative stuff within the program, and that's why you where you at in life, because you don't want to better yourself. You're not trying to pick out the good fruit within what I'm giving you. You only want to focus on a couple rotten berries that's in the batch. That's all you want to focus on. Okay, cool. You just be over there. I'm gonna focus on the people that actually want to be where I'm at, and that's where the whole 1% thing come from. The average person is not going. You can give them the blueprint. They're not even gonna read it. And I more so want to focus on the people that actually want to read that blueprint and go somewhere in life.
100%.
Everybody not meant. Unfortunately, that's just the unfortunate part about life.
Yeah, you lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink.
Exactly.
Yeah. I appreciate you. Before we wrap up, I want to allow you to let everybody know how they can get in contact with you and what you got going on, man. Let the people know what you got in store.
Yeah, so to contact me is Al Maddin on every platform, ALMADDIN. Anybody that's like-minded, if you pulled anything from this interview today, I want to talk to you. I want to get to know you. I want to get to know what your goals are, and if I can help you, then hey, let's connect. Let's put you a part of Winner's Circle, and let's get it going.
Man, I just want to let everybody know that was a part of this today. If you were listening to it on the audio, please go ahead and hit follow so that the algorithm can push this around, because this conversation right here was different. And I think more people need to be able to hear this. This was really transformational, and I think that it can set with the masses. So do us a favor, go ahead and hit follow on all the audio and all the streaming services. And then you already know on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, notify it so the algorithm can push this out too, because everything that he was telling y'all, I think that at some point in your life you needed to hear. And it could be today, it could be in a year, it could be in 5 years, or you could need to share it with your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister. So this content needs to get pushed around, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Al, I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you for having this platform. It's a lot of negativity in this world. So for you to be a light in this world and provide something, an outlet for people to pour into other people, I like that.
Man.
We're not talking about drama, what happened last week, and stuff like that.
Nah.
We're talking about things that's going to elevate other people. So I like that you got this platform, man. I appreciate y'all for having me.
I appreciate that so much.
Yeah.